So another little watch geekery tool I like to use is actually within Chrono 24. Clearly I'm not being asked to do this video by Chrono 24, and I've not actually sold or bought any watches via Chrono 24. I might do in the future, I'm sure I will, but as such I have not. One thing to remember with Chrono 24 is that the prices on there aren't just reflective of one country, it's multiple countries. So when we go into my collection in a second, you will see that both Tudors are listed at over RRP. Like I say, that is because it's multi-country, right? So if you're in the UK, you're not going to go on Chrono 24 and buy either of those two watches for over RRP, because you can walk into an AD, most ADs, and if they haven't got it, you'll have it very quickly. Or if you go to 2 or 3 different ADs, you'll definitely be able to find that watch at RRP. So the reason for those prices is probably because they're selling abroad to countries that don't have access to them as readily as we do, and that is definitely borne out to be the case when you are on the Tudor Facebook group. Lots of countries, they're being told you can't even go on the wait list for these watches, which is bizarre. Don't quite understand how they manage that. And then we've got them sitting in shop windows. But what this is really good at is basically tracking your watch purchases. So you can see there at the top, you've got the estimated worth, low figure and the high figure. You can see I've made a rough loss of £243. And the rough value of my watch collection is £9,769. And what's pretty cool is you can kind of go in and you can look at how your watch collection as a whole has done over 5 years, 3 years, and obviously far shorter time periods. So over that 1 month, I'm not quite sure what happened there. It goes up and down a lot, as you can see. Also, what you'll see is when you add a new watch, you obviously get this big spike, which you'll see in the middle of the screen. There's 2 spikes there, where I've bought a new watch and added it to the small collection that I have. And then you go down and you can see the rough profit or loss that you're making or losing. And then you can see the purchase price of your watch and the rough value of your watch at the moment. You can actually go into the individual watches by pressing these arrows here, but I'd choose just if you're interested in that. But typically you just go into your watch collection, and we're back to where we were, and it brings up all your watches here. And then what you can do is you can click into your watch, and then you can see roughly how your watch is done. And when you're putting it in, you obviously have to key in stuff like the purchase price, the fact that it's pre-owned, the date you bought it, where you bought it from, the fact that you've got box and papers, etc., etc. And then you go to the basic information, and this is pretty much pre-populated for you by Chrono 24. And all this information actually pretty much is pre-populated for you by Chrono 24 when you put in the serial number or the reference number, which is up there. Sorry, not the serial number. And I've got that for each of my watches. And I just find it quite a fun little way of roughly tracking the value of them, seeing how they're doing. So, for example, I think I've mentioned a few times, this is my first proper watch. You can see it's down roughly 11%. But if you look at it, since I purchased it, at 3,300, it's climbed back up to almost £3,000, which I'm quite surprised by, especially when you look and it hit 2,000, well, a bit less than that, but 2,400-ish. So a very slow but gradual increase back up to roughly what I paid for it, which is quite nice to see. So if I did want to sell that, which I don't, I could actually almost get exactly what I paid for it, less fees and blah blah blah. But that's pretty cool. The other thing it offers you is, where is it? If I go into my watches, go back, followed watches. So this changes a lot for me, and you can see the value of that is 82,000. And some of it I'm watching. I don't actually ever intend to buy this Tudor, but I'm just interested to see how well it's done. And obviously, since I've been following, the price hasn't changed, so it stayed at 0%. It hasn't gone up or down. I've mentioned a few times the Tudor Black Bay GMT is as big as I want to go, and this is almost identical to that. And I wouldn't personally want to add another watch of that size to my collection, but it's an absolute stonking looking watch. I think they've done a really good job of it. And if you do have that white dial lust and chronograph hit that you want to take, the benefit of this one as well, obviously it's got the date, which I do quite like. For me, my most likely next watch will be this, which is the Speedmaster Professional Moonwatch. This, I like the Sapphire Sandwich personally. And what you can do is you can go into it and put display offers, and then it shows you the ones that are available. And then you can click into them, obviously, click on the images and go through. The taper of the bracelet, I don't know why it's done that. It's quite severe. It's quite a strong taper on it, but I have tried it on, which again I've mentioned is pretty important. If you're going to buy a watch, definitely want to try it on and make sure it's a watch that you actually like. But yeah, it's super comfortable. For my 7-inch wrist, it wears really well. Oh, blimey, that's going to cause some damage to the bracelet, isn't it? And the case back is just, I love the display case back on it. The thing that always put me off these in the past was the lack of accuracy of the original movements, but now these are META certified. That's an absolute, I do like it. I wish it had the date, but it's a timeless looking watch. And I think much like my Aquaterra, my GMT and my 58, I think it will stand the test of time, and it has. This has proven it will stand the test of time, so very keen on that. You'll see a few white dials in here because I'm still trying to struggle to find the right white dial watch, and you'll see as well before I bought a Zealous Horizons white dial, and that didn't quite tick the box for me. I do like the Zenith. It's an awful lot of money, obviously due to its popularity. Again, you can see it's got a date on it. It's very nice. I don't like polycenter links. I don't like the clasp, and I don't think I like it more than I like the Moonwatch. So for me, it would be the Moonwatch. Even if they were the same price, I'd buy the Moonwatch first, although I haven't tried that on. The reason I'm following this is because these two is I do like. Oh, do I like the Seamasters? I'm not sure about the hands. I'm not sure about the helium escape valve, but I do like them overall. The reason for this particular one, this bimetal, is obviously I'm never going to be in a position to buy the Yachtmaster yellow gold, and this is kind of a nice alternative to that. Obviously, it's nowhere near that kind of money, but again, it's on a leather strap. Let's look at that one. A leather strap's not; it's on a rubber strap. So very robust. I like the display case back, and I like the colour combination. I do like it. I think it's a very nice looking watch. Maybe at some point in the future, not at the moment. And as you can see, what cracking value that is as well. I mean, yeah, brilliant value. This is an absolute stonker. I do want to get this at some point. I don't know when. I absolutely love this. So this has a micro adjustment that sits on the outside of the clasp, so you can actually adjust it. My friend's RWC has one as well, his Petit Prince chronograph. You can adjust it without taking the watch off at all, and this has got fantastic proportions. It's like 40 millimeters diameter, it's about 12 millimeters thick, 20 millimeter bracelet with that amazing clasp. The dial on this watch is something else. It's absolutely superb, and it does have polycenter links, which irks me, but the rest of the watch is so nice. I can kind of forgive it for that, and it's completely unique. I've got nothing else like this. I don't think I'll ever have anything else like this. A nice big date. The moon phase looks incredible. I love the bluing of the hands with the silvery white dial. Love that. So hopefully at some point that will be a nice present to myself. I don't actually like that many Rolexes, and this is another reason, supply and demand. There's no 339 of those, and that's a current model. Obviously, this isn't available anymore, but 276 of those. But look at that, that's insane. The whole Rolex thing just bugs me. Anyway, I'm not talking about that. And the Vacheron Constantin overseas dual time. What a peach! Absolutely love this thing. I think the reason I love it so much is it comes on. It's got a quick release bracelet mechanism on it, and it comes with both a leather and a rubber strap. So this could be your one watch if you were wealthy enough to own this. And during the week, I would just have it on the rubber, and then when you're going out for nice occasions, put it on the bracelet, and it's got a lovely mechanism on it. It's just, yeah, cracking little watch. So anyway, I digressed massively then and got back into doing what I typically do. But yeah, Chrono 24, fantastic little tool. Not necessarily for buying and selling watches, but definitely for tracking your watches, maybe looking at watches that you might want in the future, seeing what the values of those are doing. Just a bit of fun.